We continue to learn more tonight after a shooting just off Western Michigan University's campus. Why neighbors in that area say something needs to change. Plus, a local football player is hurt after being body slammed by an opponent. The response from the child's mother tonight. And conservative activist Charlie Kirk will be laid to rest tomorrow. The preparations now underway in Arizona.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3, live at 11.
Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 live at 11. I'm Princess Jana Steverson. Tonight there's continued coverage. Police are still searching for two suspects after 4 people were shot this morning along West Michigan Avenue. Public safety officials say a physical argument escalated into a shooting. Now police are increasing patrols in the area. News Channel 3's Colin Roos tells us what they know so far.
It happened here near the entrance to Western Michigan University and close to fraternities and student housing. While neighbors say they were shocked by the number of injuries, they say the overnight noise and violence isn't anything new. Kalamazoo public safety officers were called early Saturday as shots rang out near the Campus Point Plaza. They arrived to find a victim with a gunshot wound to the heel, with 3 other men later arriving at the hospital with injuries to their stomach and feet. Another person was hurt from debris in the shooting. On Saturday, officials released these images of the 2 persons of interest in the case. Police say none of the injuries were fatal and none of the victims were associated with any nearby universities. Cody Nelson lives in student housing and says he was close enough to hear the commotion.
I was just woken out of sleep at about 2:33 in the morning. I heard, 3 or 4 shots rang out. Residents
of the Arcadia neighborhood tell News Channel 3 late-night disturbances have become more common at the plaza over the last couple of weeks. One neighbor who didn't want to speak on camera says she hears revving engines and street racing on the weekends. Another says he avoids driving around the area after dark.
I'm definitely a little on edge knowing that it's pretty close to home right now. I mean, Two Fellas is right around the corner down the block, so it gets a little scary sometimes.
WMU sent out a text alert to students as the shooting coincided with the beginning of the university's family weekend. One parent says it's not the first time incidents near the school have left her concerned about safety.
What's your worst fear that you think of when your child's away at college and being on a campus that has these, it's not like it only happened once in 4 years, it's happened multiple times.
Nelson says in an area as busy as West Michigan Avenue, it's hard to know exactly what's going on outside of his home, and says he and his neighbors will have to remain vigilant.
It's kind of a scary area sometimes, so you can only just really look out for yourself and your friends.
Police say they arrested 1 person at the scene on a weapons charge, and they will release more information upon his arraignment. You can share any tips you have on the suspects with police by going to KalamazooSilentObserver.com or by calling this number. In Kalamazoo, Colin Roos, News Channel 3.
Turning now to a live look over downtown Kalamazoo on this Saturday night. Another warm afternoon in West Michigan for mid-September, but much needed rain moving through tonight. Meteorologist Will Haney is in the Weather Alert Center with a look at your forecast. Will?
Yeah, hey there, Princess. Today our 7th day consecutive in the 80s and our 9th day in the 80s this month. Of course, we're going to start to cool things back down in the week ahead, back into the 70s. But right now, we're going to start off with a live look in Allegan, one of the locations desperate for some rain and has actually seen some rain and storms tonight, even some lightning noted there momentarily or just moments ago. Temperatures right now in the middle 60s, still holding on to 70 though in Battle Creek, a location that hasn't seen any of the rain just yet. This has mainly been some of our lakeshore counties out to about US 131, but Kalamazoo area has seen a little rain tonight, and now we have some pushing just north of Gun Lake. It looks like another cell lifting into the Vicksburg area there, just to the northeast of Schoolcraft. Looking off to the southwest, though, there's still some moisture in the form of clouds and some additional showers, so I would expect some additional rain to linger into the overnight, and it will continue to inch a little farther east than it has so far today. Overnight lows fall to about 60. We're mostly cloudy again with that scattered shower and thunderstorm chance. Looking ahead to tomorrow, some showers linger early, and then I think we'll have a little bit of dry time during the day before some storms refire in the late afternoon and evening. We're going to touch on the potential for a strong storm or two coming up in minutes. Princess.
A crash knocked out power to several buildings on South Westnedge Avenue. Police tell us a truck crashed into South Westnedge School yesterday, taking down power lines with it. The area was shut down while police investigated. It's important to note the building is not being used right now because of renovations that have been going on since last year. Stick with us for any updates on the story. A former Allegan High School student is in jail accused of making threats against the school. The district posted a letter to families on its website Friday night. In a letter to families, the district says federal authorities alerted Allegan police about the threat. Officers say they went to the student's home and found evidence, including online conversations. It's still unclear what the threat involved, but we know the student is enrolled in the district's online program. A local junior varsity football player is sent to the hospital after being body slammed during a game. A 15-year-old boy playing for Lakeshore High School was being blocked and then was jumped on by a player from Kalamazoo Central, and it was all caught on video. Francesca Onofrio from our sister station in South Bend spoke with the mother of the injured player.
This video may be disturbing to some. You can see the moment the player wearing number 73, who plays for Kalamazoo Central, jumps on the Lakeshore player. The video was taken by Mims, recounting her reaction after seeing her son was injured.
First was like, is that my son? And as soon as it clicked that it was, I couldn't be stopped. I had to go down there. I've never felt anything like it. I've never been as upset or shaken up as I was over something for my son.
Her son was brought to the hospital where they found he has a broken spine in 2 places. He was released from the hospital and is now recovering at home.
He's out at least for this season. We don't know if he's going to be able to play again. He should and will make a full recovery.
While the varsity teams are scheduled to face off again tonight, Mims wants to raise awareness for potential dangerous plays.
Boys are high school boys. They're 15 years old. The game means a lot to them. It's their whole life right now. They're there from before I get up to go to work in the morning till after dinner, putting in the work. And for somebody to try to take that from somebody doing so much is awful for me to see.
I reached out to the Michigan High School Athletic Association regarding any potential disciplinary action against the student. Communications director sharing, quote, "We are aware of the situation you're describing. We talked to both schools and they are resolving this issue internally." Also reaching out to both schools while we are still waiting for comment from Kalamazoo Central. Lakeshore school leaders responded, "We can't share any information at this time other than that we are working with the other school about this situation."
September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and today a local group is helping bring awareness to the issue and offer resources to those who need it. Today was the 12th annual Suicide Prevention Walk in Kalamazoo. The event is put on by Griffin Place. The goal of today's event is to show the resources available to those in crisis find the support they need to raise money and connect with each other. The Griffin Place says suicide is the second leading cause of death for Americans ages 10 to 24 and 25 to 34. A longtime favorite in Kalamazoo is welcoming customers for the final night tonight. This was the scene at Harvey's on the Mall earlier tonight. The bar announced last month on social media they would be closing their doors after about 4 decades in business. We spoke to customers to get their thoughts on tonight's last call.
It's bitter, maybe bittersweet. It's meant so much, I think, to the community. It's meant a lot to me. I've made some really excellent friends, some of my very best friends out of this bar. And it's sad to see it go. But, you know, if the owners need to move on, the owners need to move on. And hopefully someone will come along and recreate such a special and magical place.
Yeah, and speaking of last call, you might have seen our Carter Landis or Colin Rogers there to give their final goodbye as well. Now, the bar has been a fan-favorite establishment in the city for more than 40 years and is one of many eateries in Kalamazoo's area to close down in recent years. A ship that sank nearly 140 years ago in 1880 say they've discovered the F.J. King. The vessel was dubbed a ghost ship because it had been missing for a while. The Wisconsin Underwater Archaeology Association used sonar technology to find the wreckage. Final preparations are underway tonight ahead of the funeral for conservative activist Charlie Kirk in Arizona. We're hearing from those getting ready to attend, and Ford is using a recall tonight. The models they say need to be looked at and what the problem is.
We're looking at cooler conditions in the week ahead and some rain finally returning to the forecast. In addition to what we already saw, we'll take a look at some of those rainfall reports from tonight coming up next.
Thank you for turning to News Channel 3 and 11. The news continues right now.
Welcome back. People from all over are descending on Phoenix, Arizona tonight. They're coming to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk's life. Kirk is scheduled to be laid to rest tomorrow, 10 days after he was shot and killed at an event in Utah. Jim Spiewak is in Phoenix on the eve of his funeral.
Security is tight as President Donald Trump and thousands come to Phoenix, Arizona, including near Turning Point USA headquarters.
I wanted to come here and pay my respects.
Wanda DeJesus came from California.
We will be attending, and
a lot of people there probably have to get in line real early,
yes,
huh? Is that your plan?
Yeah, we have the RSVP tickets to get there.
Also wanting a seat at the memorial on Sunday are Chris and Missy Nelson, who came to Phoenix from St. George, Utah. Their nephew was one of the first to arrive on scene at Utah Valley University just minutes after Kirk was shot.
His truck got sent to the university, and his best friend's truck got sent to the hospital.
Missy says her nephew has been struggling in the aftermath.
He's a captain for his truck. He's seen a lot, but I've never seen him as emotional as he was with this.
If they are among the ones who get inside the memorial on Sunday, the Nelsons say they're expecting a celebration of life.
This is tragic that it's happened, but to see the impact that he's made through his life, but since his death, has been incredible.
Like how do we, I guess, move forward as a country, so to speak?
Yeah, I think people need to just stop hatred altogether.
That was Jim Spiewak reporting from Phoenix. Glendale PD say from their department alone, they will have SWAT, a drone team, a bomb dog, and undercover detectives working to keep everything moving smoothly and safely. President Donald Trump wants the Supreme Court to let his administration deport hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans. Yesterday, the Trump administration asked the High Court to lift deportation protections known as temporary protected status for more than 300,000 Venezuelan migrants. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem ended those protections this spring with the Supreme Court supporting the action. But a ruling from a federal California judge allowed the humanitarian relief to stay in place. The administration accused the lower courts of defying earlier Supreme Court orders. The case highlights how the courts, including the Supreme Court, are wrestling with the speed of emergency appeals being driven by Trump's actions in his second term. Lawyers for Luigi Mangione want a federal judge to bar prosecutors from seeking the death penalty in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The defense argues that public comments by Attorney General Pam Bondi and President Donald Trump have tainted the case. They say a highly staged prep walk and Bondi's social media posts show politics, not merit, drove the decision. Prosecutors have until October 31st to respond. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to both state and federal murder charges. A government shutdown is now less than 2 weeks away, and top Democrats are demanding a meeting with President Trump. In a letter to Trump, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries claim Republicans, at Trump's direction, refused to negotiate. The Republican-controlled House passed a short-term spending bill yesterday, but the measure failed in the Senate. A Democratic proposal to boost health care funds also failed. Democrats want to protect health care programs in any funding deal. President Trump said Friday there could be a, quote, closed country for a period of time, but promised the military and Social Security payments would continue. The FDA says you should check your spices because another cinnamon product could have lead in it. The new product in question is Jiva Organic Ground Cinnamon. The FDA says lead exposure could be unsafe. We're told the cinnamon was distributed by Spicy World of USA and has a best buy date of July of this year. There have been no reports of anyone getting sick. Ford is recalling more than 100,000 sedans. It's impact the Taurus with model years from 2016 to 2019. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the front door trims may come off while driving, but Ford believes only about 1% of vehicles are actually at risk. Turns out chimpanzees are letting loose. A new study found chimps typically consume the equivalent of about 1 alcoholic drink a day because of the ethanol in the fruit they eat. We're told researchers looked 2 groups of chimpanzees. They found they consumed the equivalent of a human drinking more than 2.5 beverages a day. However, experts who did not take part in the study say the animals are unlikely to get drunk from consuming alcohol in this way since they eat fruit throughout the day.
So they're basically like slow sipping throughout the whole day.
I just want to know, can the same be applied to humans? Like, if I eat that much fruit, will I be okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Why not?
Yeah, anyways, kind of funny story there.